Good morning, day 20 through the Psalms. Today, Psalms 96 to 100. I'm going to read a few little excerpts that we had today in these 5 Psalms, and then I'll make a comment on them. So first, Psalm 96, and I'm going to read you verses 11 to 13. Let the heavens rejoice, and let the earth be glad. Let the sea roar, and all its fullness. Let the field be joyful, and all that is in it. Then all the trees of the woods will rejoice before the Lord, for he is coming. For he is coming to judge the earth. He will judge the world with righteousness, and the peoples with his truth. So just notice for now, the Lord, Yahweh, in the person of Jesus Christ, is returning to the earth. His feet, physical feet, because he's still in his physical body that he rose from the dead in, will stand upon the earth one day as he has gathered all his people to him, and he will judge the earth. And because of this coming judgment, the return of Jesus and the coming judgment, notice how creation itself rejoices. The heavens rejoice, the earth must be glad, the seas roar, the field is joyful, the trees of the wood rejoice. Now we're going to see that theme of the physical creation rejoicing because of the return of Jesus and the judgment of the wicked that is coming. We're going to see that theme continue. Then we read Psalm 98 verses 7 and 9. Let the sea roar and all its fullness, the world and those who dwell in it. Let the rivers clap their hands. Let the hills be joyful together before the Lord. Why? For he is coming to judge the earth. With righteousness he shall judge the world and the people with equity. Okay, now all of that reminds me of Romans chapter 8, where Paul talks about how the physical creation itself, now in this time in which we live, is groaning because of what sin has done to it. And it is waiting for the liberation that it itself, the physical creation, will receive a liberation together with the sons of God when we are finally redeemed and fully saved. When we have received our resurrected bodies and we are completely set free from sin and all its effects, the physical creation itself will enjoy the same liberation from sin. And this is what Paul says in Romans chapter 8, starting in verse 18. For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which will be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creation eagerly waits for the revealing of the sons of God. For the creation was subjected to futility, not willingly. That's not the reason God created the physical creation and subjected it to futility. He didn't want there to be thorns and thistles and tornadoes and hurricanes and diseases and germs and violence in the animal kingdom. He didn't want that. But he subjected it to this futility. Why? Because of him who subjected it in hope. That God did that because of what sin had brought into the world, and yet he impregnated even the very fall of creation with hope when he said, I will send the seed of the woman who will crush the serpent's head, and he will undo all that Satan has done, and all of this disaster that has been brought upon the physical creation will one day be undone. He did subject it to futility, but in hope. Because the creation itself, now what does that mean? That means the physical creation, the earth, physical earth, the mountains, the rivers, the things that we were reading in the Psalms, which will rejoice and clap their hands, the trees of the field. The physical creation itself will be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. For we know, says Paul, that the whole creation groans and labors with birth pangs together until now. And it's waiting for the redemption that we will experience, this physical rejuvenation, this whole new created body that we will receive at the resurrection. The physical creation is groaning with birth pangs. And that's why Jesus in Matthew 24, he talks about, how will we know when his second coming is close? We will know because of the birth pangs beginning to intensify in the earth. That wars and disasters and earthquakes and all of the physical groanings of creation will begin to accelerate as the time of his coming draws nearer. And so I want you to just get hope from that. Just receive an impregnation of the Word of God this morning that raises your hope, even as you see the decay of creation and this worldwide pandemic, that we've experienced in our generation with Corona. And these are birth pains. They are signs of the coming of the Son of Man. And the new life that we will live once he has returned and judged all the earth. And we will enter into this new heavens and this new earth, this newly created creation. It will be as physical as the one that we now live in. And I think we need to be reminded of that at times, that we can almost picture heaven as this cloud spiritual land. Well, we are going to live in a recreated, rejuvenated creation. Physical. We will live in physical bodies. We will gather around tables together and enjoy meals, and we will make friends, and we will live in this physical creation. We will visit one another and depart from one another. We will gather and embrace. We will run. We will enjoy a physical creation. I am a mountain biker. I enjoy downhill mountain biking, which is why I've always got these things all over my arms. And though the Lord has been gracious to protect me from massive accidents, yet there is this adrenaline and this rush that I enjoy from downhill mountain biking. And so I think when we get to heaven, will there still be the exhilaration of living in a physical body, in a physical creation? And I believe there will be. And you'll say, but how could you enjoy downhill mountain biking or whatever it is that you're into in heaven? Because there'll be no danger in heaven. We won't be able to be injured in heaven. Well, I can't answer the question, but I believe we will still be able to enjoy the invigoration and the thrill of living in a physical universe and doing physical things like that without the danger of being hurt. We will enjoy the thrill, but there will be no danger. You say, how does that work? I don't know. Well, it'll be a new creation. And it's going to be awesome. We're going to have fullness of joy in a physical creation together. And, for those of you who have lost loved ones who were Christians, it's not just that you will somehow be reunited with them in heart and in spirit, in some kind of spirit realm. That may be true for those of us who die now before the return of Jesus. We will go to heaven as it is now, and there we will be disembodied spirits for a time, waiting for Jesus to return, where we will return with him and receive our resurrected bodies. But once he's returned for all eternity, you will not just be reunited spiritually with those that you've lost. Your son, your daughter, your parents, a brother, a sister, a friend that has died. You will physically be with them again. As physical as you sit there watching this morning, you will be physically with them, and you will be able to embrace them again physically. This is the hope of the gospel. The heavens and the earth and the seas and the trees are going to clap their hands and rejoice, the physical creation itself, at the coming of the Son of Man.